Creator's World. Listen.
We can talk about anything on Creator's Girl Talk.
Yeah.
Creator's Girl Talk. We can talk about everything on Creator's Girl Talk.
Yeah.
Creator's Girl Talk.
Let's talk about it.
Everything pertaining to life and godliness. We can talk about everything pertaining to life and godliness.
Yeah.
Creator's Girl Talk. Creator's Girl Talk.
Let's talk to it.
Creator's Girl Talk.
Hey everybody!
Hey!
Welcome to another episode of Creators Girl Talk!
Yay!
We are so excited today about our show,
Yes.
right?
Yes, we are.
Oh man, I'm here today with my beautiful co-host and they are
Kelly B.
Rochelle,
Annie. Melissa.
and we're missing Barbara Moore today, and we're sending love her way. So let's just shout out, we love you, girl. And I am Markeisha Coleman, the Creators Girl. Hey.
Hey.
Last time on our show, we did a makeover on Miss Deanna Brown.
Yes.
And we're pleased to say that she was really excited about her makeover, right?
She enjoyed it.
Oh, man. And she was a pleasure to be able to serve, right?
Yes.
She
That
was
was
such a
amazing.
beautiful and perfect model.
Yes.
And we are so grateful that we were able to do a makeover on her.
Yes.
We got more things coming. That was our very first one, but I feel a fashion show coming on, right? Right. We need to do a fashion show.
Yes.
We got hairstylists and all sorts of people that can help us out with things, right? We got artists. Everything we need is in the house. We want you all to just stay tuned with us, right?
Yes.
Right. Later on in the show, we got some surprises for you.
ready,
Not
get
only do we have the Bishop's Corner coming,
Right.
but we have a very good friend of mine, Miss Altavis Ferguson. And she's going to be sharing with us today. She got some exciting things going on with her, and it is just a pleasure to have her in the house with us.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So today we are talking about health awareness.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This is something that we really need to talk about in the African American community.
Yes.
It's almost taboo to talk about your health. Even when we were younger, they never said anything. Somebody just passed away, and you'd be like, "Okay, what happened to them?"
Right.
You know, and you never knew that they were sick because we hid a lot of things. I don't know why we hid a lot of things, but I believe it was mostly because they didn't want you to worry about them. But we need you all to start taking care of yourselves. Yes. So today we're going to be talking about just taking care of our bodies as a whole. Certain things, I mean, we're not meant to stay here forever, but we want to take care of what we got while we're here as much as we can. So if you know better, you do better, right? All right. So, and there's a scripture called James 2:26. And it says, "For as the body apart from the spirit is dead, so also faith apart from works is dead." We must we must take care of our bodies, right? So in other words, you need to have faith to take care of yourself, right?
Absolutely.
If you don't put nothing in, if you know that you can't eat pork, stop eating it.
Right.
If it shoots your pressure up, stop eating it, right? You say, "Oh, but I like this." "Oh, but it's killing you," right? So you got to make a choice right in the beginning. You know, don't do it. You know, I love ribs. Can't eat them. Find something else, right? I like shrimp. That doesn't bother me, so I take that. Right? So we have to do something for ourselves, right? I've had too many family members pass away from different things and different diseases, and I just want everybody to be happy. I know I want to go when it's my time to go, not because I did something to cause myself to leave here.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so today, this is what we want to bring out. We want to bring out the awareness of it. We're wearing pink today in honor of breast cancer awareness, right? Which is in the month of October.
Right.
But we'll be talking about today the things that's going on in November. A lot of people don't know about the health awareness in November.
Right.
So it's also National Alzheimer's Disease Month, National Diabetes Month, National Family Caregivers Month, National Home Care and Hospice Month, National Marrow Awareness Month, National Medical Science and Liaison Awareness and Appreciation Month, right? This is things that I didn't even know of. We got even National Pet Cancer Awareness, right?
Wow.
Keep your animals healthy too. They do.
Yes.
It's certain things that they will pick up on as well, right?
Yeah.
You got National PPSI and AIDS Awareness, Pancreatic Cancer Awareness, Prematurity Awareness, PTA Healthy Lifestyles Awareness Month. So these are a lot of things, and there's more diseases and different things out there, but we want you to be aware that you need to take care of yourself. Go get the checkups.
Yeah.
Don't wait until you pass out to go see what's wrong with you. You know that your fingers are feeling numb, or your heart is beating too fast, or you have constant migraines and back aches and leg pains. As we get older, yes, these things are going to happen, but make sure that there's nothing wrong with you, right? Right. So we're going to dive right into it, and I'm going to ask Annie. I want to know why people don't like talking about their health or taking care of themselves.
I mean, my opinion on that is that most people, it brings a level of accountability where we have to kind of face our demons, per se.
Right.
Where you have to be accountable for either just facing some of your bad habits, kind of like you just said.
Right.
Yeah. Right? And most of the people I work out with, I always say it's a couple of things you got to pay attention to. You got to pay attention that you're not being too lazy, that you're not being gluttonous. And one of those two are always going to be like a reason for your issue. And then sometimes we just busy. We're just so busy that we're taking care of everybody else except our own selves. So we got to stop being so busy that, you know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people that, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to work. I'm like, make time.
Right.
Absolutely. I started getting up like 2 hours earlier than my family. Like now I'm getting up at like 6 a.m. Well, at the gym at 6 a.m. just so I can get my, my workout in. Because, life is too busy. And if you're tired because you're not working out. Or you're not taking care of yourself. And if you can just get over that hurdle of getting to work out, you'll have the energy instead of being tired to not work out. Like, it's just a vicious cycle. You got to break it. You got to break it.
Break the cycle. I've learned, because I actually went through a sickness myself. I had thyroid disease. And I actually had a goiter on my throat that, kind of went all the way up my neck. And I'm working. I'm doing volleyball. I'm doing track. I'm leasing agent. I'm this. I'm mom. Whatever. And I'm going on and on and on. And it had to be for months that I had this goiter on my neck and never paid attention to it.
Wow.
Because you're just going and you're not paying attention to anything. And it wasn't until the doctor told, I think it was my sister was with me, and he said her heart is swelling. And it's gonna swell so until it doesn't have room to beat anymore. And I said, well, I definitely don't want that. So what do I need to do? So I end up having to take a radiation treatment. Obey the signs. That's what I'm saying. My heart was beating fast. I was still going on. I knew my arms was getting numb, and I would touch them. Feet swelling, losing weight rapidly. That's one for thyroid disease, especially hyperthyroid disease is what I had. That's the one that will take you out. It has to get into remission. If you don't do anything about it, it will take you out. So if anybody is dealing with that, you feel any of those symptoms, please go see the doctor, because understand this: when you come from the womb, you are already one step closer to death anyway. So you need to take care of what you got while you got a chance, right? So Kelly, would you mind telling us about your testimony as far as health awareness?
Absolutely. I know for me, as far as looking at the signs for me, my oral hygiene affected me once I got pregnant. And I thought it was strange, but I started to get loosened teeth, and I started, my gums started bleeding, and I realized that it was an issue. And while I was pregnant, I had to get my teeth pulled, all at the bottom, and then now I have beautiful teeth. But I didn't know, like, in pregnancy that you supposed to get more calcium, you supposed to take your iron, you supposed to take your prenatals. Like, I was very late to a lot of stuff, so it just happened. I know I had braces and different things like that, but everything shifted, and so I had to go to the dentist. I hate the dentist, but I had to go because they let me know that I could have had a stroke.
Right.
You know, it's just different health issues that I did not know from oral health.
Right.
So that's a little bit of my testimony. Like, go to the dentist,
Yeah,
go get your teeth checked out, and even when you're pregnant, definitely take your prenatals and different things like that, because that does affect your enamel and different things like that.
Right. I had a problem with that as well when I was having my children, to take them because you don't know what you need. Now I have 6 children. Yeah. So mind you, every time I got pregnant and when we were having children, you couldn't take Tylenol or pain medicine, different things. So you had to bear down on whatever pain it took. But some of the pain from those teeth, I'd rather have a baby. Than to have some of the pain that I felt, dealing with that teeth. It messed with your brain and everything. You know, everything hurt when your teeth was hurting.
Because I done had 6 of them too. So
so
I already know.
It's very important. So we want to thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you. So Melissa, can you share some of your testimony with us?
Sure. So in 2005, at the age of 25, I was diagnosed with uterine cancer. So that means it had already, passed the cervix, and it was in my uterus. And at 25, who wants to hear they have cancer? So I was in denial, and I wasn't accepting it, although my body hadn't showed me real signs of it. I went to the doctor regularly. I had 3 small children. I was doing everything because I was in the medical field, so I knew I had to get checkups and always regularly being checked. But they just came out of nowhere, and they was just like, we see some cells that are abnormal, and we're going to go a little further, and we're going to cut a little further. And you go for all these different biopsies, and finally they were like, well, it's in situ. It's in your uterus, and it's in there, but it can move quickly. And she told me, my doctor, and I thank her to this day for being so very abrupt with me at the age of 25 and being in denial, to tell me, like, you can either let me get this out now or you can die. Are you concerned with having more children, because I would have to have a hysterectomy at the age of 25? Or are you concerned with being here for the children that you have now? And it was a week they had me in surgery. It went just that quickly because they had to move quickly. And I'm just grateful to God that He would even, let me be in the position to be healed. And when they took me into surgery, she told me everything looked contained, and her goal was to keep my ovaries. Although it doesn't mean anything that I can't have children, but it did stop me from going into menopause. I'm a 25-year-old young woman, and it would send me straight into menopause if they would have had to take my ovaries. And she was able to save my ovaries because she moved so rapidly, because she was strict and stern with me. And a lot of times, you don't want to hear what the doctors say. And I'm in the medical field, so some doctors I see, they are very, to their job, and it's about the money, but then you have some doctors out here that care about people, and they are designed to take care of people, and I say designed by God to take care of people, and you have to really pay attention to that, because you'll know when God is in it, And I was fine after the surgery, They continue to watch me, of course, because anytime you're diagnosed with something like that, they have to continue to watch other parts. But I'm just grateful, because here it is, I'm 16 years later. And I'm a living witness, And all of my children I've gotten to see be adults. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, right.
That's just part of my testimony.
Thank you.
That's a blessing. That's a
Yes.
blessing. Oh man, that's a blessing.
Man.
So the number of Americans that ignore their bodies, signaling that there's something wrong, is like off the chain.
Right.
So at this time, we're gonna have some statistics from Rochelle.
Yes. So they're in an article from the Society of General Internal Medicine from 2014. Why do people avoid medical care? They did a qualitative study using a national data system. Participants first indicated their level of agreement with 3 specific reasons for avoiding medical care. Number 1, first, over 1/3 of the participants reported unfavorable evaluations from seeking medical care, such as factors related to physicians, healthcare organization, and effective concerns. So in other words, they didn't want to do it because they were afraid of the report. Okay? Number 2, a subset of participants report low perceived need to seek medical care, often because they expected their illness or symptoms to improve over time.
Wow.
So they didn't want to go because they knew that their symptoms would improve over time.
Oh, wow.
The third one was they reported traditional barriers to medical care, such as a high cost, no health insurance,
Yeah.
time constraints, and it said here that what they did was they developed a conceptual model of medical care avoidance based on these, on those principles. There's also an organization called Movember, and I am pronouncing it correctly. It's a leading global organization committed to changing the face of men's health. And they do an annual event where men are growing mustaches in the month of November to raise awareness. They did a survey in 2012. They found that men are much less likely than women to take advantage of primary care services, including community pharmacies. And it seems that this is one of the reasons why men experience worse long-term health problems compared to women, according to that. The last statistic of the day, the Reader's Digest. In a recent survey of 1,100 men, 30% said they wait as long as possible before seeing a doctor about troubling symptoms of any kind. The problem then is you lose the chance to get some small health problems treated before they become big problems.
Right. So we want you all to please get checked out.
Yes.
If we can't express anything, if you see any symptoms of anything, at least get checked out. It may not even be nothing serious, but you want to make sure that it's nothing serious. So please get yourself checked out. Right? Well, it's time for the Bishop's Corner. Right? We're going to have Bishop, the Creator's Boy, Coleman, come and give us some firm advice today, right?
Yes.
And right after that, we'll be back with our special guest, Miss Altavis Ferguson.
Creator's World. This is the Bishop's Corner of the Creator's Girl Talk Show. And this is your boy, your servant, Bishop Dwayne, Creator's Boy Coleman. How's everybody? God bless you real much. We're talking about a hot topic today, health awareness. All right? Some people are deep. You know we deep. You ain't got no business sick if you're in Jesus. Okay, whatever. He was wounded for our transgressions and bruised for our iniquities, and the chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. He didn't take stripes so we could avoid sickness. He took stripes so we could actually be healed, which means we'll experience sickness. Now, we can never call ourselves sick. I am not sick. I can't say I am sick, but I'm experiencing sickness, and that's what the stripes of Jesus are about, all right? So sometimes we're going to go through that stuff. I want to read a passage. Y'all know how I do. Romans chapter 8, verses 9 through 12. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit of God dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. And if Christ be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit is life because of righteousness. But if the Spirit of him that raised up Jesus Christ from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal body by his Spirit that dwells in you. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. In other words, we don't owe our flesh any favors. So here's what we have to learn to do. We have to learn to live by the Spirit. If we mortify the deeds of our flesh through the Spirit, I believe we'll be okay. So when the Spirit of God tells you not to eat that extra piece of cornbread, follow the Spirit of God. You may be one piece of cornbread away from diabetes. Okay? But that's what we want to do. We want to live a Spirit-led and Spirit-disciplined life. All right? God bless you. We love you real much. This has been the Bishop's Corner of the Creator's Girl Talk Show. Be blessed.
Welcome back. Hey. We hope you enjoyed the Bishop's Corner.
Yeah.
All right. As promised, we have my girl, Altavis Ferguson. We are so excited that she's here today with us. So I'm going to give you a little rundown on Altavis. Altavis is a native of Gary, Indiana. She began her career as a dancer under the instruction of the late Corinne Morris Williams. And that's actually where we met.
Yes.
Many moons ago. We won't tell our age. But that's when we became friends. We've been friends for a mighty long time. And no matter what we've been doing, we get into the arts and the singing, we've always been around each other some kind of way. And I'm so excited that she's here with us today. Right, we've done many things together. We did the Wiz together. This was one of my sisters. We was,
Glinda.
Yes, I was at a Pearl. Yes, and so we're just excited that she's here with us today, and she's going to be expressing some things with us, right, about health awareness.
Yes.
It's like we said earlier, it's very important not to ignore the signs. Do not ignore the signs.
Yes.
And so today she's going to share with us some of her testimony.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
This is an excellent and beautiful platform, so give yourselves a hand. Well, in 2003, I was 26, turning 27, and I was diagnosed with lymphoma. It is a blood cancer. And so I had no idea. That year, we were doing Joseph at the West Side Theater Guild in Gary, Indiana, and I had begun to develop big nodules, lymph nodes swelling up in my neck. So, everybody thought I was a diva because I'm wearing the scarves. As singers, you wear scarves to protect your throat, but I began to really start wearing scarves more often to camouflage because I got tired of the questions, girl, what's wrong with your neck? Or why that's looking like that? So, me being a faith-based person and believing in Christ as my healer, I was like, well, I ain't claiming nothing. I ain't naming nothing. I ain't claiming nothing. So I really wasn't going to the doctor, and I wasn't going to see about myself.
Okay.
But as you mentioned earlier in the segment about oral health, when I bared down to give birth to my son, who's 18 now, I had a root canal done in high school. And as I bared down to push him out, the canal, everything kind of came apart.
Wow.
So they were saying fast forward to 2003, that was bacteria draining in my throat, and I needed to get that checked out. So when I finally went, that's what they were saying it was. So with some herbal remedies and, of course, meditating and praying and trusting God, they eventually went away. So as we began to get involved in the show in Joseph, I couldn't hit any notes. Hardly. My voice was just going through something just crazy, and I was fatigued. My son was a couple of months old, like 6 months, and I was fatigued. I was oversleeping, and I was losing weight, and I was happy about that, And so, but it was just abnormal, the things I was going through. So I had got a personal trainer to help train me because we were getting ready to get into some more things with the theater, and she asked me to do an exercise, like going just, bicep, tricep stuff, and as I was expanding, it's like I could hear my back going, making this noise. And it was so painful, and I would grip down like this, and the pain began to shoot into my female area, going down the back. So she was like, that sounds like your sciatic nerve. I'm not going to train you. You need to go see a doctor.
Wow.
So I kept focusing on the pain being in the female area, not so much my spine. So I went to Dr. Keith Ramsey. He said, what do you do all day? I'm a licensed cosmetologist, hairstylist by trade. But he said, what do you do all day? That's why I do a lot of cutting hair. That's what I specialize in. He said, I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to send you in for an MRI. So we did that, and it kept coming back like inconclusive or showing inflammation on the spine. So the ministry I was a part of at the time, had a ministry that was coming to Gary. They were doing services there, and I was leading worship. And as I finished leading worship, I began to just weep heavily. So everybody thought I was in the spirit, with the Lord, but I was in pain. And it felt like somebody was taking a hammer and hitting me on my back. So my husband took me to the emergency room, and then they kept saying inflammation on my spine. So my family had asked me not to do anything for a shower or anything by myself because it just seemed like my body was shutting down. So I began to walk and fall just for no reason. I could just walk out the door and just fall. So my son got his first haircut. I came home and fell at the door, but I didn't to keep me from not dropping him. And my family is like, what is going on with you? You just keep walking and falling. And being ignorant is unaware. That's the word for it. I still was working. So I had got a shampoo assistant from Maryville Beauty College in Gary to come shampoo for me. And all I did was sit in a stool and curl hair, flat iron, and do stuff like that. But I was still driving and doing stuff, and my body began to get perilous from the waist down. So I was like taking my body and throwing it just to walk. So I'm a jokester, I'm a kidder, y'all know me. So I make light of every situation I'm in. So I'm like, y'all, I'm RoboCop. I'm coming in here, but I'm RoboCopping. So a close friend of mine, Kim, called my husband. She said, do you know your wife is at the salon? And they talking about she can't hardly walk. He was like, yeah, we got her a little cane. I had my stepfather's cane. And they're like, this just not, this she acting crazy, but she's something going on. Yeah. And she's making light of it. So we went to the emergency room, and it was a black doctor on call. And he was like, she's young, something's going on. So my husband's family thought it was MS, because his aunt was dealing with MS. And that's part of the diagnosis, crippling and things like that, but it wasn't. And so during the ER visit, he said, close your eyes. He began to do kind of like acupuncture and stick needles and things. He said, do you feel that? And my husband was like, I don't feel that. And I was like, what? He was like, he's putting needles in your leg. I was like, no. Wow. And he was so like, you need to see a neurologist immediately. Wow. So fast forward, I took a shower like 4 weeks later without my family being there, and I fell in the shower. My legs went completely out just like this. My husband rushed me to the hospital. We didn't wait for an ambulance. And it was actually my gynecologist who got me to see everybody. I did not know the doctors. I didn't know the neurologist because we did make an appointment, but it was months. When it's time to see a specialist, it's months in advance. So it was the grace of God that was with me. So when we first got to the hospital, the receptionist saw me, the look on our faces, because we're young, 26 and 28, 27. I'm 26 and 28, and we're young, and my stepdaughter was with my bonus baby was with us, and her mom had to come pick her up from the hospital, and it was just a mess. And so she was a woman of God, and she said, she closed the blind. She said, y'all faith believers? She said, we gonna pray, baby, because I began to weep, because then I know something is wrong. Got in the hospital. They did testing my brain activity, everything. And then 2 days later, a young black doctor, nice looking doctor, came in, and I'm laughing because I'm like, he look young as me. Who is this doctor? So he came in with a skeleton. He said, you have a massive tumor in your spine. If we don't take it out immediately, you will never walk again. Wow. He said, we don't see cancer, so that's a good thing. He said, but it is pressing closely to your spine. So it's risk of me never being perilous for the rest of my life if they touch me wrong. He said, you will miss these bones on this side. He was telling me what they were going to take out. So all this is just like, whoa. Right. So my husband like, you look as young as us. How many surgeries have you done? And he like, let's talk about this first. And he like, well, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'm blessed in my field. So God was with me. He was giving me the best doctors. I had one of the top neurologists in the state of Indiana, one of the top neurosurgeons, and one of the top oncologists eventually. So they got it out. He came to my bedside with worry on his face while I was in the ICU. And he kind of touched my head like a big brother or somebody. He didn't even know me like that, but he grabbed me so endearing and almost like he had tears in his eyes, and he said, it doesn't look right. I'm gonna send it out for testing. I believe in his heart he knew, but he couldn't do the diagnosis.
Right.
So I'm on the ICU floor, all my family there, and they're taking care of me, different family members coming back and forth. So they get me walking, they send me to the rehab floor. So after that, I began to experience swelling in the left leg while I'm doing rehab. And so I'm like, I'm hurting. They like, no, Miss Ferguson, you got to work. You young, blah, 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 blah. This left leg began to get as large as both my thighs, y'all. And I got some big thighs. So it began to get really big. So Tess and Sheila were my physical therapists. And Tess was a Korean woman who wore wigs. And I just thought she wore them for fashion. But she was battling cancer herself at the time. And I had no idea. But she knew that something was going on with me, but she couldn't say it. So she said, let's send her down for ultrasound. They sent me down for ultrasound. They immediately put me on bed rest. So everybody, I had already gained steps to walking, but I was walking like a baby because I had to learn how to walk just like a child. That was so overwhelming for me because I took it lightly, telling my customers I'll be back after surgery, but child, no. So I didn't return the hair till 7 to 10 years later. So anyway, they found out that it was a DVT, a blood clot traveling, and they had immediately told me I had to get on bed rest. So that night, we hear this whole thing where your immediate family needs to come. We need to talk to you all. So that was the second time. The first time was with the spinal surgery. So the neurologist comes in. Then she comes, her name was Dr. Baez, and then she comes in with an Indian doctor named Dr. Barai. And he's like, they're both like, it's lymphoma. So we like, okay, so I'm like, okay, that's a disease, I can beat that. You know, it's immediately what he said, it's cancer. So we just like, we begin to weep. He said, I'm going to give you all your moments. So my husband, we talk and we just were travailing in the room because we got a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 1-year-old.
Right.
It's like, we just got married 2.5 years ago. What is...
Jesus.
So... I begin to hear, this is not unto death. So all the word that you already have in you, people of faith, has time to exercise that.
Right.
See, we go to church and we get all this, we get fat and full, but it's time to, now it was time for me to exercise it. So that's what happened. So he came in, he began to say all these different technical things, and he said, I don't know where it came from, but God is going to use me to kill it. And that's when them tears begin to through the tears I begin to sit up. I said, what you say? He said, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm the top in my field. He said, and I hear from God. He said, God is going to use me to kill it. He said, I'm going to use some strenuous things for your wife, Mr. Ferguson. She's going to feel sick. She's going to probably lose her hair. She's going to go through some things, but I'm going to counterattack this to get her out of this. So he told me I would have to get a heart test and all of that. So they found it in the spine, 3 to 5% in the bone marrow, and a small nodule in the chest. So I took extensive chemo 4 days a week, every other week, for 6.5 months. So it was February 2004. I was declared cancer free. And I have been cancer free ever since. Hallelujah. So healing, God used medicine for me. And I talk about that in the book that I wrote, Live to Win My Victory Over Cancer. Shameless plug. But I talk about how I had dreams. So piggyback, after the swelling in the neck, I had a dream of my funeral. I had a dream that balloons were being released, and I wake up in the sweat, and I'm like, wait a minute. Then I had a dream of a doctor being in the lab coat giving me a bad report, but those were warning signs. Just like Joseph and Daniel, they were dealt with dreams and things like that. And I was ignorant. Again, there's that word again. I was unaware, and I wasn't taking heed to the warning signs. You all spoke about earlier, going to get checked out and things like that. So I am still under his care. I go to see him like once a month now. Because fast forward, I dealt with some different histories and seeing cancer. For me, chemo threw me into menopause. So I was already nursing my son, so I didn't have a cycle. Then menopause. Then I was treated for endometriosis. Maybe 3 years later, menopause again with that treatment. And in 2017, I was diagnosed with blood clots in the lungs. The enemy tried to take me out again, but God.
That's it.
So
Right
I thank God that I was under his care for me to catch it. And I was in a season where I was struggling with like, well, I'm eating right, I'm exercising, I'll go get my scans later. You know, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I kept hearing like, no, you need to go get your scans. And so I went for the testing on a Thursday, and they called me immediately the next day at the salon and said, you need to come in immediately. We see it's not cancer. Because I kept hearing saying, now, Lord, you promised me in Nahum 1:9, affliction will not rise against me a second time in that way. Now, wait a minute. And so I gasped, and they said, no cancer, but we see clots in the lungs. So if I hadn't been going, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. Because he told me, he said, my mother died at the dinner table at 81 from a blood clot. He said, really, because he's also a hematologist as well as an oncologist. So God bless me because with the blood issue, and I dealt with anemia growing up as a child, so I'm under his care now. He sees me once a month. I don't mind going. He always called me his miracle girl. So go to the doctor. Yes, go to the doctor. The truth is, you are healed. You are healed by his stripes. The Bible says healing was the children's bread. It says they were healed as they went. But God uses physicians. One of the greatest physicians in the Bible was a disciple, Luke. Come on. He was handpicked by Jesus. So come on, y'all. We have to use wisdom. And I used wisdom, and that's why I'm here, because God, He had to shake me. He gave me another chance. And some of our people, especially people with faith, I watch people die.
Come on.
Because they was like, I believe the word of God, and I'm not going to the doctor. And that is that word again, ignorance. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And he comes to use the same word that we believe in against us. But Jesus came that we have life and have it more abundantly till it overflows. So please check yourself out. No, you're not supposed to have more faith in the doctors, because those are facts what they saying, but the truth is you are healed. So it's okay. It's okay.
Right. Oh man.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Real quickly, this just blessed me so in this book. She said, you cannot allow pain, hurt, issues, or challenges to allow us to confess or speak things that are negative or just plain foolish. I don't know why that just like hit me in the stomach. It was out there. I'm just like, oh my God, watch your mouth.
Right.
Yes, we do.
Watch your mouth. That just blessed me. It did.
Oh man. So at this time, we want to thank, oh my God, my sister here with this beautiful testimony, Altavis Ferguson, right? And a lot of people don't know that she is vocally, you know,
recording artist.
Right, recording artist. So she's going to be performing for us, you know, one of her songs. So we'll be right back with Miss Altavis Ferguson.
All right.
All right. Hey! At this time, we want to present to you none other than Miss Altavis Ferguson.
Ooh, yeah. La da 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 la la la. La da 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 la la. Ooh. When you saw me, who did you see? And when you saw me, what did you think? That you could shake me or break me or tear me down. No, you won't shake me or break me or tear me down. No, 'cause it won't happen. 'Cause now I know better. This part of the story has ended. You won't do it again. I know who I am. Standing tall and strong. All the fear is gone. Oh, I got my confidence. Yeah. I got my confidence. Yeah. You had me in this dark place for so long, but I couldn't stay there. I had to let go and move on. You won't shake me or break me or tear me down. No, you won't shake me or break me or tear me down. No, this it won't happen. 'Cause now I know better. This part of the story has ended. You won't do it again. I know who I am. Standing tall and strong. Oh, the fear is gone. Oh, I got my confidence. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got my confidence. Yeah, yeah. You won't do it again. I know who I am. Standing tall and strong. Oh, the fear is gone. Oh, I got my confidence. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got my confidence. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm whole. See, now I am free. I know my worth. Oh, I love me. Yeah, yeah. I'm whole. See, now I am free. I know my worth. Oh, I love me. You won't do it. You can't do it. You won't do it. You can't do it. No, no more. No, no more. No more. You won't do it again. You can't do it again. Can't do it. Won't do it. Can't do it. No. Can't take away my joy. Won't do it again. Can't take my confidence. You won't do it again. No. Can't do it. You won't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. No more. No. You won't do it again. You won't do it again. No. I got my confidence. Confidence. You won't do it again.
Yeah. Come on, let's give it up. Miss Altavis Ferguson. Right? Wow. You won't do it again. That's in my spirit now. Okay? Nothing. The enemy can't do it. All right? Nothing, never again.
Yeah. It's available everywhere. It's out everywhere now.
Right. So on all platforms, iTunes, YouTube, look up Miss Altavis Ferguson. Please support our own. Right out of Gary, Indiana. Right? Come on. So we're so thankful today that she came on the show with us. Right?
So grateful.
And such a beautiful song. Yes. Many songs. That one right there, I believe that's gonna be one of my favorites.
Yes.
Right? I need to put that in my playlist.
Yes.
So we got some shout outs that we gotta do, right? We got some shout outs to Creators World, right?
Yes.
Creators World Music, our own Bishop Coleman.
Yes.
Bishop's Corner, right?
Yes.
We got music crafters. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so many. We got Just Peachy Jewelry, right? Right. Well, there's so many, but we want to support Altavis's book as well.
Yes.
Amen. And where can they get it from?
It's on Amazon, Barnes, all digital platforms. You can get the book, and also you can go to my website, altavisferguson.com, if you would like hard copies. Yes. And they are $10. And if you go on the website, you just pay a shipping and handling fee after that. But
Right.
So if you don't want hard copies, go with the ebook on all digital platforms.
Okay. It's a must read. Please read. So we want to give a shout out to our new Divine Truth family.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And so this has been another episode of Creators Girl Talk. Remember, favor is deceitful, but beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. All right, see you later.
Love y'all.
Creators World. Listen.
We can talk about anything on Creators Girl Talk.
Yeah.
Creators Girl Talk. We can talk about everything on Creators Girl Talk.
Yeah.
Creators Girl Talk.
Let's talk about it.
Everything pertaining to life and godliness. We can talk about everything pertaining to life and godliness. Creators Girl Talk. Creators Girl Talk.
Let's talk to it.
Creators Girl Talk.